For daily Ask Reddit. r/Ask Reddit. Engineers of Reddit, what's something that a client has insisted on having that is literally impossible? If you like the video, drop a like and subscribe so you never miss a video. Worked once with a customer who wanted a shipping case with both cooling fans. Item inside needed airflow and waterproof. It took 3 days of phone calls to explain, as the boss of our company kept sending me links to waterproof fans, not realizing that meant the fans themselves were waterproof, not that there was some magical way to get airflow but not water flow. Gills, mate. Get with the times. Early in my career, I was on a contract to provide lighting for the inside of a mining tunnel. The customer wanted low heat, semi-permanent floodlights, but didn't want to run a generator or replace batteries. He wanted them to be solar powered. When I explained that this wasn't possible because there was no sunlight available to charge them, he insisted that if we just point the lights at each other, they'll all be charged and run indefinitely. 17 years in electrical engineering has taught me that a lot of people believe in perpetual motion. LMAO. It's like that picture of the guy using a solar powered power bank to charge his phone via the flashlight on his phone. Worked in med device engineering for a little while. Brought a survey about our prototype to a conference where the largest response was make it floppier but more stiff. What the actual, your doctors? I'm so curious what they meant. What kind of device was it? It was for internal peripheral pulmonary ultrasound and biopsy. I honestly think the solution would have been one of those weird smart materials where the stiffness of the device changes based on user input, but only at specific places. May have been possible, but would have made the device prohibitively expensive and delayed the release by at least 3 years, effectively 100 years in medical R&D terms. I'm not an engineer, but work in data science. We once had a client who gave us a bunch of their sales data and asked us to make a program that, based on their data, calculates the exact price at which their product should be priced to maximize revenue. We could attempt to create a pricing estimate model, but there's no guarantees it will be accurate to the point you want due to numerous factors. Data science is great and can help with a lot of things, but it can't do everything. That is because data science has become a buzzword for do literally everything, and people believe this stuff. We don't require subject matter experts anymore, just data science it up. Another fun case was someone who played a game service had a problem. You see, our game was making his court monitor freak out. Customer support couldn't figure it out, and for some reason the call was sent to me. As it turns out, his monitor was failing, and really he only ever had it on long enough to heat up and start showing symptoms while playing our game. He still thought I could fix it with an update. 19 hours ago, not a client, but when marketing tries to set all the goals for engineering without consulting any engineer about feasibility. Marketing wants SOL certification. I tell them we need 3 units to test. Each unit costs 20k. Marketing loses their shite, and I kid you not says, we don't need to waste 60k on those tests. Just because those standard engineers agree that those should be the standards doesn't make them right. They only need 1 unit, and no destructive testing needs to be done. We can do that later. I ducking hate the marketing department. What ducking idiot let marketing control that aspect? Damn, I'd indeed have a resentment from that. Marketing telling engineers about engineering. Stay in your lane, people. It's a common trend nowadays that marketing people have the power and money in the company. They justify it by having a prototype gathering massive attention gained by the marketing team, while the item itself is either not working by design, lacks features claimed by marketing, or years away from the actual set product launch date. Meanwhile, the engineering department has to either put their foot down or massively increase their work hours to try to repair the mistakes of marketing. If they fail, engineering gets blamed. If they win, marketing gets a hefty bonus and pay raise. Not an engineer, but an automotive technician. Feel free to delete if non-applicable. I pride myself of top-notch brake work. Perfectly true rotors, excellent finish, clean brake fluid, noiseless operation. I finished the job, seated the pads, gave the car back to the customer. He came back the next day complaining that his brakes stopped too well and demanded that I fix them. Look buddy, you can either adapt to how your vehicle is supposed to operate or crash on the freeway next time you need to do an emergency stop. That may seem like a crazy complaint, but it is kinda understandable. Some cars I have driven have brakes so sensitive that you barely touch the pedal and get the kind of braking you might expect from depressing the pedal half an inch on another vehicle. It can be very jarring. If you get your vehicle back from the mechanic with a large change like that, it may seem like something is wrong if you don't know better, but you only have to drive for like half an hour to get used to it, and like you said, the vehicle is just operating like it is meant to. Just a student, but a relevant story. I had an assignment in college one day where we had to model something in AutoCAD, but there was one particular arc involved and absolutely no way to determine the diameter. The whole class was stumped, but the professor kept insisting that we had all the dimensions we needed and we just had to think outside the box. Class ended and we were told to finish it for homework. I spent another 2 hours just staring at the screen and researching geometric theorems that I might not have learned. I gave up. Next class, the professor apologized and told us that, apparently, there was one dimension missing in the newest edition of the textbook. It was literally impossible